some new experiences in the next days, weeks, and years. College is like all of you living here together across the street with no adults. Can you imagine how that is? So let me cut a little bit deeper. Don't do it just because you can. Had experience in government, I'm not saying this to brag, but being in the company of several presidents, President Barack Obama, President Clinton, several times. There was one occasion I'll never forget with President Clinton. A very intimate conversation. He was talking about being a young person growing up in the South with soft shell turbans. Anyone ever heard of soft shell turbans? Yeah, there's a few supplements back there, I understand. Well, just like the name goes, if you step on them, they'll die. And they would ask the future president of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, why did you step on those turtles and kill them? He said, I did it because I could. You should have to understand, young people, just because you're going to have some newfound freedom doesn't mean you can do it. Just because you can. Let me cut a little bit more deep in this case. Back when my parents were growing up, they used to talk about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Let me make it relevant. Sex, drugs, and rap. Sex, let's start with that. Where did that come from? It doesn't matter, it's important. You can't afford it right now. I don't care what you did, what you planned on doing, you can't afford it right now. You can have a boyfriend, you can have a girlfriend, but do not feel the pressure that you have to be sexually active to be into a loving relationship. Huh? Because my point is, I'm not taking you away from what happened, but it's only going to cloud your vision and cloud your opportunities for success. Right now, your books is your lover. Huh? Your books is your new best friend. They won't give you the emotional trip that relationship will right now, because believe me, you can look around and with the exception of Facebook, you're not going to see these people anymore anytime soon. It's not a bad thing, it's a reality, because you grow on, you go. Drugs. What does Cat Williams say? This is not regular weed they're smoking now. Huh? It's not like the 60s. Now make it clinical. In the 60s, the THC content, that's the active ingredient in marijuana, was much lower. 2014, it's chemically laced and all these other things. Let me add a little bit more. The human brain still needs to age 23 to develop fully. So if you're at your 17, 18-year-old, you're smoking all this weed, doing all these other drugs, who knows what, you're limiting your opportunity to be successful. Now, I would not be a hypocrite. Ms. Neal saw me on campus. I smoked. I did. Ms. Neal did. Ms. Neal did. But my point being is, I realized soon that I couldn't reach my full potential being high all the time. So I'm not going to stand in front of you and try to badge. I just want to give you the tools to be successful, because you can be successful. Because you got one thing going for you. One special thing that no one can take away from you. You know what that is? You're a Detroit hustler. I don't mean hustler in the sense of illegal or immoral, but the simple fact that you're from the city of Detroit. I travel all around the world. And every time I go somewhere, whether it's corporate or from my own business, people recognize that I'm from Detroit. Because that means that you have a way of knowing what to do. Knowing how to respond. Nobody's going to outwork you. No one's going to out-hustle you. But you have to realize you have to apply that in the right way. Now, I'll tell you this. Being a Detroit hustler has helped me get there. But it's being professional that helped me stay there.